Why was ROM essential for early 80s PCs like the IBM PC? Imagine turning on your computer and having it ready to go instantly. That quick start was thanks to a tiny but mighty part called read-only memory. Back in the early 1980s, personal computers like the IBM Personal Computer and the Apple Roman II needed a way to wake up and get ready without waiting for software to load from floppy disks or tapes. That's where ROM came in. It stored the firmware, which is like the computer's basic instructions for starting up and talking to hardware. The firmware included the BIOS, or Basic Input-Output System, which was responsible for checking that everything was working right when you turned on the machine. It made sure the keyboard, display, and disk drives were ready to go. Without ROM, the computer would have no instructions to begin the boot process. It would be like trying to start a car without an ignition key. The IBM PC had a BIOS stored in ROM chips on the motherboard. These chips kept the essential code safe and ready, even when the computer was off. This code handled tasks like reading keyboard input, showing things on the screen, and accessing floppy disks. Since ROM is non-volatile memory, its contents stay put even when the power is off. That meant the BIOS was always there, ready to run as soon as you press the power button. Another big role of ROM was hosting a version of BASIC, a programming language many users loved. The IBM PC had 8 KB ROM chips that stored cassette BASIC. This let users write and run basic programs right away, without needing extra disks or software. It was especially handy because many home computers of that time used cassette tapes for storage. Using ROM for BIOS and BASIC had many advantages. It sped up the startup because the computer didn't have to load software from slower storage media. It also gave the machine a stable foundation, making hardware and software work smoothly together. Plus, ROM chips were cheaper than RAM at the time, so embedding important code directly on the motherboard saved money. For hardware makers and software developers, ROM made things easier. It provided a consistent way for programs to talk to the hardware, reducing compatibility issues. From a nostalgic point of view, having ROM meant the IBM PC felt reliable and ready to use right away. You could turn it on and start typing in BASIC or boot into PC DOS immediately. This was a big step forward from earlier computers that needed you to load software manually every time. So, in simple terms, ROM was essential for early 1980s personal computers because it stored the firmware and basic interpreter. It made sure the machine could start up quickly, work reliably, and be ready for users to jump right in. That's what helped make the IBM PC a versatile and popular computer in that exciting decade.